This is Dolynny TV, guys. A big welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers chat. You see it there on the trucker style hat. Here today talking, well, the first 10 games of the Edmonton Oilers season. And let me tell you, it's been a doozy. We have had some highs, lows, and some stuff in between. But generally highs and lows, if you understand where I'm coming from as an Oilers fan through the first 10 games. Guys, if you're new to the channel and you really want to make sure you stay up to date, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know how you guys like this Oilers talk, because I think this one's going to be a little bit of a fun one. Haven't really done a review, done a lot of previews, done a lot of rants, that kind of style. But today we're going through reviewing the stats and just kind of going to give you my opinion and my feeling how the Oilers have survived the first 10 games of the year. Now, this is where we will go grab the Pacific Division standings first off to talk about how things look through the first 10 games standings wise. Things look very good. You know what? We're 6-3-1. Okay, we've played 10 games. San Jose, who's atop the Pacific, has played 11. They are 6-3-2. What does that mean? That means we sit in second in the Pacific Division with 13 points, 29 goals for, 30 goals against. Yes, we've had some high scoring games against, and that has been costly, but really that stat is actually skewed quite a bit by that shutout against Nashville. UC Saros doing UC Saros things. I was there last year in Edmonton when he did it then, and he did it again this year, and that kind of skews that stat, right? You take away those goals, add 2 or 3, and you mix around a couple goals, and suddenly that stat's a plus for the Oilers. So let's not get too involved in the goal differential as of yet, especially considering looking down the standings, one place down, the Vancouver Canucks, who sit with 12 games played, 12 points. They have a -9 goal differential, and they are indeed in third place in the Pacific Division. Does that say maybe our division's a little weaker this year? No, I think everybody's just kind of off to slow starts. Not necessarily am I saying the Oilers are off to a slow start. We've come roaring back after a bad first 2 games. Either which way, let's get right to it and go review the standings in terms of, also we're coming on a 3-game win streak. Don't forget about that we've won 3 in a row. But the stats are where it gets really fun. We'll start top to bottom, and then we'll go talk about the goaltenders as well. The stats have been looking very good when you're 2 guys named Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid, 17 points in 10 games played, 8 goals, 9 assists. So this is my big thing that really gets me excited about Connor McDavid this year. He's got that speed. Guys, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm going to say like Air Force jet compared to commercial airliner. That's as simple as it gets for me. So 8 goals. The big one for Connor McDavid is the power play points, right? Half of his points, 8 points, have come on the power play. 4 power play goals, so half his points on the power play are goals. Game-winning goals, I don't really look too big into that stat. He does have 2 of those, however. 36 shots is the big stat for me when it comes to Connor McDavid. The first few years in Edmonton, what was everyone preaching? Shoot, kid, shoot. You've got the best shot in the league when you use it. Guess what? He's using it now. Yeah, sure, he isn't a goal per game guy, but at 8 goals in 10 games, give him a full season, well, suddenly you're talking 60 goals, boys, right? The math is crazy on Connor McDavid as of right now. Shooting percentage is 22.2% for McDavid. That's not going to probably stay right there. But if he keeps it around the 16-17% mark, man, look for a 45-goal season out of McDavid, and imagine where the Oilers would be if they get such a season out of McDavid. Now, Nugent-Hopkins, 12 points, 3 goals, 9 assists. He has played a lot of time with McDavid, lots of power play time as well. Has 5 power play points, 1 power play goal, 5 power play points, like I said, a shorthanded goal. What a beauty that was. And you know what? 9.1 shooting percentage. So here's the thing, right? I'm talking about McDavid shooting 17.1, 17.2 on a season average. Well, you imagine Nuge, he just got to get those pucks on net and get them going in. Suddenly you get him up to a 15%, and you're talking he should have 5-6 goals at this point of the season, which would put him on pace for about 35. Nuge at 35 goals, I think that's exactly why we drafted him first overall all those years ago. Now, Leon Draisaitl, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points total in 10 games. That is huge. I was harping on Draisaitl hard earlier this year, But the thing is, he's kept that point per game average, and that is making up for every cent of his contract at this point. Leon Draisaitl at 82 points in 82 games is worth every penny of his contract, so don't doubt that. Just hope that it keeps up, and through 10 games, it looks like it should, especially if he keeps getting out there in overtime with Connor McDavid. And you know what happens. Bing bang, cross crease, in the back of the net, game over. The Oilers get 2 points. His shooting percentage at 30%, that should slow down, but as a centerman, he should be able to pick up a couple more assists as well. Darnell Nurse is your next leading scorer with Tobias Rieder as well. 5 points for both of them. Nurse has had a ton of shots to start the year, 28 shots in 10 games played. 3.6 shooting percentage. Yeah, it's been a rough start for him. I mean, Nurse, he should be shooting around 5-6% on the back end. Just got to hope he starts generating a little bit more strength and a little bit more accuracy when he gets that puck on net. I've noticed a lot to start the year has been middle of the belly, middle of the chest, a little bit at the shoulders, but not quite over the shoulder, if you know what I mean. Tobias Rieder, you know what? He's coming on of late. These last few games, he's really come on. 5 points in 10 games played, all assists. He should be really starting to crack them up right away here. If he can get it going in the next 10 games and get a couple of goals, 3 or 4 more assists, you give him 6 points in 10 games, he's worth everything he's getting paid. Milan Lucic, well, it's been a better start than it was last year, boys, for sure for Lucic, and I'm quite enjoying that. That's huge for him. He's had 3 power play points. You know what, honestly, if he's going to be our power play specialist, you got to have a guy that's going to go out there and get the majority of his points on the power play. Yes, McDavid, Nuge, and Draisaitl should as well, but you got to have that cog in the wheel that doesn't necessarily score 5-on-5, makes an impact 5-on-5, and we can all agree that Lucic does. The big thing is he needs to be able to change the game on the power play and change the game differently 5-on-5. That's not worth $6 million, but it's at least some value in his contract. Clefbaum is the other 4-point man for us so far, and Clefbaum 4 points. You know what? Get him out there in overtime a little bit more, and I believe it should change his point totals. If he can finish the year with 35, 40 points, we're looking at a good season out of Clefbaum, and we're counting ourselves a playoff contender for sure. Chiasson, well, 5 games played, 3 goals. That's huge. Definitely haven't had a guy who's come in and scored that many goals per game instead of Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, so that's huge to see. And Drake Caggiula, 2 goals. I'm just going through the noticeables here. Adam Larson with 3 points there. Kyler Yamamoto's been quiet, but he's starting to get his game going, right? Yamo's not shot enough. That's been my problem. Only 11 shots in 10 games. Imagine if Yamamoto can start shooting that puck 2 times out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3. Good things are going to happen for that kid, and I'm hoping to start seeing them soon. Tyrati, we'll see him back from injury, see what he's like then. Zach Kassian, you know what, got that goal, but just needs to change the pace of his game a little bit more and hopefully get some more offense out of it. With him, it's consistency, right? That's what Jack Michaels and Bob Stauffer were talking on the broadcast, the radio broadcast yesterday afternoon. So that's what we need to see out of Kassian. Just a little bit of consistency. If he can chip 2 points every 5 games, I'm happy with that. That's consistency. If you know what he's going to deliver per set of games, I'm good. But if he's going to deliver 1 point in 7 games and then go on a tear, 5 points in 5 games, and then no points in 20 games, that's not acceptable. 2 points per 5 games, I'm happy. Good. Jesse Puljujärvi, if he ever gets back in the lineup, maybe we can talk about him. Evan Bouchard, same thing. He's been in and out of the lineup, so I'm not counting on him too much. Jujhar Khaira, quiet start out of him. 9 games. He's played 90% of the games so far. We're hoping a little bit more of production out of the 4th line. And that starts with Kassian, Jujhar, and of course Brodziak just kind of getting gelled together. They're a great 4th line. They just got to get the offensive touch to their game, and I believe Brodziak, what he's done the past few years, should be able to bring that element of leadership to that 4th line and say, hey boys, here's how we're going to find our offense and bring home some goals for this 4th line of ours. Benning, Garrison, I'm not expecting much, honestly. Benning had a great finish to last season, but the way those two have looked this season to start, it's been a rough go for sure. And the only other guy in the lineup who hasn't scored a point in his games played, Cooper Marody, with 2 games played, no points. We'll wait. He'll be up and down all season long, I'm sure. Okay, that's a lot of stats to digest in a long time. I'm going to quickly touch on goaltenders because I don't have much more time. Try to keep these bite-sized for you guys. Cam Talbot's looked pretty good, honestly, compared to last year. He's come on late, right? The first few games rough. Now he's starting to get himself back to Cam Talbot 2016, 2017. Yeah, that's still oh man, that still sounds weird. Either which way, 5 wins, 3 losses, an OT loss, and a 2.67 GAA, 909 save percentage. Bump that up to 915. I think we're contending. Mikko Koskinen, great game against Nashville. Problem is, I think at times he played small. I know they were saying, well, you know what, he just needs to play big. There were times he played small, and I think that cost him a couple of times. But for the majority, he played big, and when he plays big, he is a scary goaltender to contend with. So guys, I think after 10 games, the state of the Edmonton Oilers is looking very good. I'm Tyson, this has been Dolynny TV. I hope you enjoyed the stats update. Like I said, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a like on the channel if you are looking for more of these. And in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts are through 10 games with the Edmonton Oilers. I am up on Oda here.